I had always been the quiet one, the person who blended seamlessly into the background of life. As a librarian, I thrived in the silence of books and cherished the solitude it offered. My world was confined within the walls of the library, where I found solace among the stories and characters I met every day. But then, one fateful afternoon, everything changed. The bell above the library's entrance chimed, signaling the arrival of a stranger who would unknowingly unravel my world. He was unlike anyone I had ever seen, confident, charismatic, and effortlessly charming. His name was James, and he had the power to make my heart race with a simple smile. James frequented the library, not as an avid reader, but as a writer in search of inspiration. I watched him from behind the reference desk, secretly admiring his passion for words and the way his eyes would light up when he found a particularly interesting book. He was the embodiment of a character from a romance novel, and I couldn't help but daydream about being the leading lady in his story. One day, as I shelved books in the romance section, James approached me with a question about a classic novel. I explained its plot, but our conversation quickly evolved into a discussion about our favorite books and authors. I was amazed at how effortlessly the words flowed between us, like we had known each other for a lifetime. Our interactions became a regular occurrence, and I cherished every moment we spent together. We discussed literature, shared our dreams, and laughed about the little quirks of life. I learned that James was an artist, and his passion for his craft was as deep as my love for books. He had the ability to see beauty in the world, even in the simplest of things. As the weeks passed, I couldn't help but wonder if James felt the same connection I did. Did he notice the way my heart skipped a beat when he entered the library? Or how I nervously twirled a strand of hair when we talked? I longed for him to see me as more than just a librarian, but as someone who could make his heart race as well. One rainy afternoon, I mustered the courage to invite James to join me for a cup of tea at the small cafe nearby. He accepted my invitation with a warm smile, and my heart soared with excitement. We sat by the window, sipping our tea and watching the raindrops race down the glass. As we talked, I couldn't help but steal glances at his captivating eyes. They held a depth that hinted at hidden desires and untold stories. I wanted to know everything about him, to be the one he confided in, the one who made his heart race. Our conversation took a more personal turn as we shared our dreams and fears. It was in that vulnerable moment that I decided to take a chance. I confessed that I had a secret crush on someone who made my heart skip a beat every time I saw them. I didn't reveal his name, but I hoped James would understand. He looked at me with those intense eyes, and for a moment, I saw a hint of something more. Was it curiosity? Interest? Or was it my imagination running wild? I couldn't be sure. Weeks turned into months, and my feelings for James only grew stronger. Every day I wished for a sign that he felt the same way, but he remained an enigma, a puzzle I couldn't solve. I wondered if I should confess my feelings, but the fear of rejection held me back. Then, one evening, as we sat in the library after hours, engrossed in a passionate discussion about love and destiny, something incredible happened. James leaned closer, his fingers gently brushing mine as he reached for a book. The electricity between us was palpable, and I knew I had to seize the moment. With trembling hands, I mustered the courage to lean in and kiss him. Our lips met in a tender, passionate embrace, and it felt like time had stopped. In that magical moment, I knew that James was just as enchanted by me as I was by him. Our romance blossomed into something beautiful and extraordinary. We explored the world of literature together, crafting our own love story inspired by the pages of the books we cherished. Our love was like a timeless novel, filled with passion, laughter, and the kind of love that makes your heart race. As the years passed, James and I continued to share our lives, our dreams, and our love for each other. I had gone from being the quiet librarian to the leading lady in my very own romance story, and all it took was a little courage, a lot of love, and the enchantment of James, the man who had once been a stranger but had become the love of my life. In the end, it wasn't about making my crush go crazy over me. It was about finding someone who made my heart race and my soul sing. It was about discovering a love so profound that it turned my ordinary life into an extraordinary adventure. One that I would cherish for all the pages of my own story.